So let's get into it. I'm starting off with the Lip Bar Quick Draw 2-in-1 Brow Gel and Pencil in the colors Brow-nish, which is a dark brown, and then Arch-Nemesis, which is a reddish brown. And I just really like this product, mainly because it's a brow gel and a pencil on the other end. Really nice coverage, really pigmented. I like it a lot. So I did my brows as I usually do, starting at the top, tracing it out, then tracing out the bottom as I do those short hair-like strokes to connect the bottom of the brow to the top tail. If you want to see a tutorial, check out my second to last video. And once I've got my brows how I want them, I'm going to use my Juvia's Place concealer in the color 14, and I'm just going to carve out under those brows, and I'm going to bring that color down to my lid and also use it as an eyeshadow primer. And I don't like to waste products, so as I'm blending that primer in, I'm just going to take it under my eyes just to cover some of my problem areas. Now I'm going to go into my Colored Rain Smoke Show palette, and using the color Flammable, I'm just going to pat that in as a transition color, and I'm going to pat it in before I ever begin to blend it. And I'm using my MAC 224 blending brush. So I'm just going to keep patting, trying to concentrate that color into my transition area of my eye, and I'm just going to keep patting until I have deposited enough color, and then I'll use windshield wiper like motions to blend that out. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye as well. Just pat that color in, deposit it, then start to blend. Next, I'm going to go into the color Naked Eye. It looks kind of yellow on camera, but it's like a peachy color. And I'm going to use that to blend out the edges of the color Flammable that I already had applied as a transition shade. So I'm just going to blend out those edges, kind of pat it on along the edges, and then blend it out in the windshield wiper like motions. And then I'm going to come back with a Morphe M433 brush and just blend in that Flammable color some more. I kind of just add a little bit more to the crease. Then I'm going to go into the color Torch and apply that on top of the transition and also into the crease using my MAC 217 brush. And I'm just applying it to the outer V and then bringing it into the inner lid, and also like just blending it into that transition color. I just want to have a lot of reddish brown depth, so don't worry about it getting into the other color. You just want those colors to mesh together. So I'm applying it on that outer V and then just blending it in further. Next, I grab my MAC 224 blending brush that still has the color Flammable on it, and I'm just gonna blend on top of the transition and crease area to blend out that torch color that I had used before. Next, I'm gonna grab an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna apply the color Smokescreen all over my lid. So it's a really pretty like blackish grayish glittery color, and I'm going to use that for my smoky eye, and I'm just patting that onto the lid right now. It's going to be a little messy. We're doing a smoky eye. Black is kind of difficult to control for me, so I'm not really too concerned about it being neat at the moment. I'm just patting it in because I know I'm going to go back and blend out those harsh edges. So I'm just patting and swiping that color onto my lid. Then I'm going to go back using my Morphe M433 brush and some of that transition color Flammable, and I'm going to start to blend out those edges and those windshield wiper motions. Smoky eye is not a quick eye for me. You gotta keep blending. So next I'm gonna use the color Torch again and that same M433 brush, and I'm gonna go into my crease and just keep blending out the black edges. Now I'm gonna be using my Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation on my pre-primed face. And I'm just gonna dot that onto the center of my face, and using a Real Techniques full coverage brush, I'm going to apply my foundation. And that's pretty simple and pretty self-explanatory, but I do have a foundation routine video if you'd like to see. And I actually did 2 layers of coverage on this look. So once my foundation is applied, I'm going to use my Ulta flat concealer brush and that same foundation, and I'm just gonna carve out the top of my brows. The coverage of this foundation is amazing. It's almost concealer like. So I used it to kind of clean up around the eye area and under the eyes. And then I'm going to take a beauty blender and blend out the edges of the brows and the under eye area that I had cleaned up. So it's a really, really good foundation, and it's super matte. I like it a lot. So next I'm going to use my Juvia's Place concealer in the color 14, and I'm just going to apply that to my under eye, down my nose, and on my Cupid's bow, and I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend that out. I'm going to blend the remainder of that concealer out with my foundation brush. Then I'm going to grab my Juvia's Place concealer in the color 6 and use that as a contour. And I'm just applying that on the hollows of my cheek, the perimeter of my face, and my nose. And then I'm going to use another Real Techniques full coverage concealer brush to blend that out. I also grabbed an e.l.f. brush and blend out that contour, because honey, I want a little ham on that nose contour. So I'm just going to keep blending with my foundation brush. Then I'm going to use my setting brush by Real Techniques and my Sasha Cosmetics translucent powder, and I'm going to use that to set my under eye. Then I'm going to go back with that contouring brush, and using my Fenty bronzer in the color Coco, I'm going to set the dark concealer that I had applied for my contour. So now I'm using my Color Rain and Power Collab highlighter blush duo in My Day 1, and I'm going to take a blush brush and apply that to the apples of my cheeks. Then I'm going to take a pencil brush and go back into that Color Rain Smoke Show palette, and I'm just going to apply Flammable first, and then on top of that I applied Smoke Screen. Then I'm going back into that My Day 1 palette, and I'm just going to use that highlighter color and apply that to the high points of my cheek. Now I'm using the Lip Bar Smudge Proof Lip Liner Straight Lovin' and my Pat McGrath lipstick in the color Flesh 5, and I'm applying that along with my Colored Rain liquid lipstick in Boss Fade. Now I'm going to set my face, and that is it, y'all. Thank you again for watching, and please subscribe. Bye, guys.